What if Caitlin Clark's WNBA career was never meant to be? That those who didn't want her to succeed behind the scenes also opposed her ascent, in addition to the defenders on the court. Since the truth is finally being revealed, Sue Bird is where it all begins. She didn't merely make a contentious statement. It's possible that she unintentionally revealed the WNBA's dirty little secret, a well-thought-out covert tactic to prevent Caitlin Clark from becoming the main attraction. No, it wasn't just a matter of difficult plays or missed calls. Bird described what transpired as a full-fledged carnival characterized by dubious technical fouls, covert racial tensions, and a league more concerned with drama than celebration. One of the most thrilling rookies in the history of the game. I would want to ask you a small favor before we go. Please take a time to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you find this stuff entertaining. Surprisingly, more than 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. You can use it for free, but it enables us to keep telling more impactful stories like this one. Have you already subscribed? I'm grateful. Thank you so much for your support. Clark was not doomed by this. It was the tactic of someone else. A strategy developed by people who couldn't deal with a rookie suddenly being the league's face. Indeed, there are names associated with this. They weren't merely spectators, from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert to league officials to the referees executing the laws. It seems that the league intended to use her as a cautionary story rather than encourage a rising star who is directly altering the future of the sport. When scandal is more popular than celebration, why support her? But now, whether on purpose or not, Sue has pulled back the veil. And what we're witnessing is unsightly. Was Caitlin Clark's failure something the WNBA truly wanted? Let's take a moment to listen intently. Subbird may have revealed more than anyone anticipated in her podcast.
Pretty much every single one of Caitlin's games early on, because I am a fan. I do like good basketball. And of course, I wanted to see how she would do. Coming out of college and going into the WNBA, we as WNBA players were having basketball conversations, and everybody just took it to another place where we were attacking them as well. And it actually, we talked about this before, like the fan that went hard at Caitlin at the Connecticut Sun game in game 1 or 2, I can't remember, where there was an interaction where the fan almost got ejected. It's like, none of this is okay. And we never accept it. We never accept this on the men's side. Is it okay in our league? Mm-hmm. Why is it, welcome to mainstream sports?
I knew it was coming. This wasn't a surprise. And not just the comments that the commissioner made a few weeks ago, where she basically implied that the racial tension is good for business and invoking Magic and Bird. It's not good for business. It's never good for business. And sort of sidestep the question about racism and misogyny and hate that the players are receiving online, basically saying, like, don't go on social media, or, it's sort of not real.
One thing I want to reset, that we want to reset, and it's the language being used around fans. Mm-hmm. Fever fans, Caitlin fans, new fans. That actually has to go. That has to go. I understand why at times it's been used. It's kind of just when you're in an interview and you get asked a question, it's kind of easy to go, oh, the fever fan base.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? That has to go.
Oh, these new fans. It has to go, because it's not the fever fans. It's not Caitlin fans.
The WNBA's perspective, the WNBA and the league office and Kathy's role specifically is basically to protect and shepherd the league, both from a business perspective, from a player welfare perspective, from a health and safety perspective, and from a growth and investment perspective. And this is where I feel like she's
not come out of college with the same level of popularity, scrutiny, all of it. Nobody has. Caitlin is one of one. There's zero doubt about that. Continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple of years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record.
So not every, they're humans, looking at technology. Basketball is a little more complex than tennis, for instance, around technology of officiating. So we're looking at a variety of different dimensions.
When you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rival, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were.
Therefore, Bird's dismissal of Clark's record-breaking season as merely a team effort sounded like a stomach punch rather than encouragement. Yes, cooperation is important. But let's not pretend that Clark's record-breaking viewership didn't also propel the league into the public eye. The fans witnessed it. It was seen by the media. The entire globe witnessed it. Why, therefore, did one of the most esteemed veterans seem so aloof? Was it merely a bystander? Something more profound? Is this the tough love approach of someone who was once the league's face and now has to watch someone else grab the show? Or is it jealousy or discomfort? She blew up because Clark didn't just show up. She achieved what many athletes aim for their entire careers in a single season. She rekindled her fan base, sparked conversation, and packed arenas like never before. What does it tell you, therefore, when the biggest rookie star in decades wins Rookie of the Year via a phone call, without any fanfare, standing ovation, or spotlight? It states, "We see you, but we're not going to show it." The officiating comes next. And this is the actual beginning of the fire. We now reach the point where fans pause and wonder, what exactly is going on here? It was more than just an emotional moment when Caitlin Clark gave the backboard a quick slap out of frustration following a missed shot. It set off a technical foul. It's a straightforward technical, not a warning or a shrug. It was deemed disrespectful to the game by the referee. Really? Because they hardly get a second look when veterans like Diana Taurasi go off considerably harder, with far more emotional reactions. Here, the double standard is blatantly evident rather than veiled. Why, therefore, are there distinct rules? Why is Clark treated as though she's walking on thin ice while others are able to skate over it with ease? This is annoying as well as frustrating. Even worse, it presents an image that seems overly intentional. Did the WNBA genuinely want to keep Caitlin Clark under control? Did the league feel compelled to slow her down before she surpassed their narrative because her fame was too brilliant and too quick? If that's the case, it's not only perplexing but also blatantly self-destructive. Clark is a lifesaver rather than a threat. She is increasing ticket sales, attracting fans, and transforming the WNBA into primetime television. Nevertheless, the league appears to be avoiding her success out of concern that she would overshadow everyone else, rather than applauding her. The problem is that she already has. And it's her genius, not her fault. The truth is straightforward. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would not be experiencing its current boom. Additionally, the league is not preserved by trying to act otherwise. It weakens it. They're playing it small by being cautious. In actuality, the players are the brand. There would be no WNBA, no spectators, no highlights, and no future without them. Therefore, it's not subtle when the league gives Clark her Rookie of the Year title over the phone just before a playoff game with minimal fanfare. It's a message. Avoid making excessive noise. Avoid outperforming the system. However, Caitlin Clark is now the system. She's not merely creating a stir. She is now the current. It won't be her who suffers if the league is unable to accept it. Now, let's discuss Kathy Angelbert. The commissioner is skilled at drawing attention, but not in the manner that the league requires. Her most recent action was attempting to create rivalries in order to increase viewership. Identity politics, not performance or narrative. She presented Angel Ree and Caitlin Clark as the next big sports rivalry. Imagine Magic against Bird, but with an awkward, superfluous racial undertone. Angelbert stated it outright in a CNBC interview that raised eyebrows. Ree is black and Clark is white. That contrast alone, in her opinion, creates an engaging sports drama. Really, she fell short if nostalgia was the intended outcome. Rather, she touched a nerve. Because this is the problem. It doesn't seem smart when a league official tries to use race to increase viewing. It sounds desperate. And this desperation is starting to resemble terror. Kathy Angelbert ignited a match rather than bringing fans together or honoring greatness. What was meant to be a display of two Fans didn't hold back when amazing athletes Caitlin Clark and Angel Rez were degraded to a racially offensive marketing ploy. It was called out for being tone-deaf, exploitative, and offensive by critics, analysts, and regular supporters. Engelbert reduced both women to their skin tones instead of emphasizing their abilities. Here's the terrible turn of events. Rhee and Clark have already experienced abhorrent amounts of racism both in the arena and online. The league's leadership threw them into the fire and then added petrol to it rather than providing any protection. Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird also didn't hold back. They criticized Engelbert's strategy on their podcast, claiming that the league was putting attention-grabbing headlines ahead of player safety and mental health. Bird questioned why Engelbert seemed more interested in controversy than solutions, while Rapinoe criticized the league's propensity to profit off racial conflict. However, things worsen. Engelbert advised athletes to simply avoid social media when they encountered hate speech and poisonous fan discourse. Really, that is avoidance rather than leadership. Unplugging is the answer to the racism and misogyny that players see on a regular basis. It's the kind of detached thinking that, if it weren't so risky, would be absurd. Sadly, if Engelbert had approached his preoccupation with rivalries with integrity, it may have been amazing. However, she used Clark and Rhee as prop icons of strife rather than recognizing them as generational talents reshaping the league. The damage is already apparent because she completely obliterated the mark rather than just missing it. Her comments have exacerbated divisiveness rather than promoting community. Her remarks portrayed new admirers as outsiders rather than as welcome. Toxic Caitlin fans were the focus of the story, instead of the expansion that the league sorely needs. For every young lady who fills stadia for the first time, it is a slap in the face. To all the fans watching from home, and all the athletes who have been forced to remain silent while their careers are used as clickbait by the leadership. The irony is this. The WNBA ought to be a model of inclusivity, diversity, and athlete empowerment.
It has always been said to be that.
However, Engelbert's approach is demolishing what took years to construct. You have to wonder, what direction is the league really heading in when skill is obscured by turmoil, when race is used as a marketing ploy, and when leadership fails to take the initiative? In actuality, if Engelbert doesn't rectify Sunif and start defending players rather than narratives, she will not only lose fans' trust, but also the league itself. There is more to this than just basketball. It has to do with leadership, equity, and the WNBA's desired future. We'll be following every play, both on and off the court, here at Swiss Talk. Remember to subscribe, click the bell icon, and share this breakdown with anybody who needs to know the real story behind the headlines if it struck a chord with you. Watch this space for more honest, unvarnished, and illuminating stories. We have only just begun.